too late to change your love. So don't let them steal your light. Don't let them break your stride. There is light on the other side. You'll see all the raindrops falling, baby. It's a revolution. It's a revolution.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today it is 8 days out from show day. It's Saturday. It's just come up to 6 o'clock now. Today's going to be a really good video for you guys. I don't know if you guys remember, I said in a few videos back, but on the 19th of August I was invited to a 80s reunion. So most of you guys remember, my posing coach is a retired IFBB pro, and she's been holding an event for today which is going to be bringing back and reuniting all of the top class legends, 80 bodybuilders, some IFBB pros, some really big names, some maybe not so big names, and they're all going to be under one roof tonight. And you know, she's a really good friend of mine. She's been helping me all the way through this prep with my posing, and you know, she done the honor and invited me to this event to give me a bit of motivation, and just because, you know, we're friends, and she, you know, she wanted me to tag along. So that is going down tonight. One of the biggest names is going to be, that most of you guys will know, is Dorian Yates. So Dorian Yates is going to be there, Kimberly Ann Jones, and many other top athletes are going to be down there. So today's going to be a really exciting video. You know, I'm really buzzing for today. I'm really hyped up. But first of all, we need to get today started. Like I say, Saturday. First things first, I need to go walk the dog, go stretch his legs. Then we're going to get back and then get meal number 1 in, which will be breakfast. So let's get today started. Alright guys, so I just got back from my morning walk with the dog. It's just gone up to 6:45 now. Absolutely chilly this morning, so I'm keeping myself wrapped up with my jumper because I'm cold. But we're about to get breakfast started, meal number 1. So to start off my day, I've got here 6.5 ounces of egg whites, which works out about 6 eggs. So I'm just going to stick that on the pan. And with this meal, I'm going to have some prawns. So I've switched it up. I keep switching up my meals at the moment, just to like adding some variety, and you know, just so it's not always the same stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of people always ask me, how do you, you know, keep consistent with your diet, and how do you eat these foods? Most of them are bland. It is bland and boring foods, but it's all part of the job. I just focus on what I need to do. I eat the foods that I need to, and then I just move on to the next meal. Some of the meals are nice, some of them are boring, they're not as entertaining, but it's all about just getting the meal in and then just focusing on the next meal. So it is bland, it is boring, but that's what I like to do. I like to keep it basic, I like to keep it simple, but when I can, I'll switch it up. So when I mean switch it up, I mean like one morning I might have egg whites with a little bit of chicken, and then my next morning I may have egg whites with prawns, or the day after I'll have steak instead of the egg whites. But I'm still keeping it to basic, simple foods. I'll just switch the varieties around from day to day, just so every now and then, one morning my breakfast is a little bit different than the next day. But it's all about just keeping it basic, keeping it consistent, and not focusing on making it tasty food. It's just about getting the job done. Eat the meal, move on to the next one. But with this meal, like I said, I get some prawns. So in total, I get 115 grams, to be exact, of pre-cooked prawns. So these prawns are really tiny. Also, loads of people have been asking me, where do I get these prawns from? My local supermarket, which would be like Tesco's or Morrison's, Asda, anywhere like that, you can pick these up. They're really cheap as well. They're about £2 a bag, and they probably last me about 2 to 3 days. So I get 115 grams of this, which I'm going to stick in my bowl. So that there, a little bit over. So that's 115 grams of some prawns. So I'll have that with my egg whites. And then with this, my carbs today, you guys guessed it, I've got my ground of rice. So I'm going to show you how I make my ground of rice nice, thick, and add that volume, because a lot of people on my Instagram and Snapchat, when I'm posting my pictures, they always ask, how do you get that nice thick texture. Some people overcook it or some people undercook it where it's all slushy and runny. So I'm going to show you my little hidden tip and secrets on how to make the perfect ground of rice. So first of all, it's all about getting a big bowl, a big enough bowl to use. So for me, this is like the bowl that I always use. It's nice and big. I'll stick it on my scales. So this morning I get 70 grams of dried ground rice, which is going to give me 50 grams of carbohydrates. There we go. Now this is where it gets very accurate, but it's all about the accuracy. I get myself a jug of water and I add in exactly 360 ml of water. Now, when it comes to your ground of rice or your oats, whatever you're using, your water may vary. It depends on how much you're actually having. Obviously, I'm having 70 grams here of dried, so 160 ml of water is perfect. $160 ml. So let's say, for example, if you have 50 grams of dried ground rice, you may have to have a little bit less. If you're having more, if you're having, say, 100 grams dried ground rice, you may have to have a little bit more water. But for 70 grams, I have about 360 ml of water. Then I'll add this into the microwave. Now, the first thing I do is I always put it on the longest. So I'll put it on full volume, on like heat, and I'll put it in there for about 5 minutes. Give it a stir. Leave it to sit for about a minute and I'll stick it in there again for another minute, and that is perfect. So I'm going to do that now and I'll show you guys afterwards. Alright guys, so I just put my ground of rice back in for a minute and that's pretty much it now done. It's absolutely piping hot. But as you can see there now, a close up for you. That's that nice thick texture, just how I like it. Now I'm going to let that cool for a bit, give it a bit more of a mix. There's a bit lumpy bits at the bottom. But to me, that's a perfect bowl of ground rice. Nice volume, thick, consistency, texture. Also, my omelette's done. So I'm just going to add that to my prawns. That's pretty much it for breakfast. Meal number 1 of the day. Also, I'm just going to finish off my BCAAs that I normally use and drink when I'm doing my morning walk with the dog. Just finish up them. Also, don't forget my seasonings. So I've got some more Himalayan pink salt. Just a tad on there. Can't go without some black pepper. And of course, to finish it off, a little bit of the French mustard. Just a tiny bit. And that's meal number 1 of the day done. So today, like I said, it's Saturday and it's actually officially my last leg workout of this whole prep. So today, if you saw in the last video, today's going to be more of a volume, isolated, more machine work for the leg workout today. Last video I done was my last heavy leg workout and that killed me. Literally yesterday, even in the night, I still had DOMs on my quads and hamstrings. So today we're gonna have to take it a little bit more easier. We're just gonna go for more volume, just try and pump some blood into the muscles and just do some more higher sets, higher reps and things like that. So I probably won't get any footage of today's video because we're out in the evening as well. I want to try and record that and I want to still try and keep these videos a little bit shorter, and it's time consuming as well. I've got a lot going on. I need loads of things to get done. I've got preparation to do, loads of things I need to organise, get booked in, sort out. My minds need to be focused on other things. So I'm pretty much just going to be showing you the meals and anything else that I feel like you guys need to know about, or anything that I feel like is knowledgeable or information for you guys regarding my prep. So anyway, I'm going to dig into breakfast and I'll catch you guys on meal number 2 of the day. Alright guys, so back up in the kitchen. I'm just about to get meal number 3 in of the day. So meal number 2 was just 150 grams of tuna and some asparagus. So meal number 3 is going to be my pre-workout meal. So what I get is 1 cup of white rice. I get a spoon up. So this 1 cup gives me about 40 grams of carbohydrates. I'll stick that in there. That should be every bit. And then with this, I've got myself 200 grams of some chicken breast, which I'm going to chop up. What I like to do, I know it's already been chopped up, but I chop it up into finer little bits. So it's almost like shredded chicken. I'll stick that on top. I'll put a little bit of a seasoning on the chicken as well, which is just some mixed herbs. And then also afterwards I'll just chuck on my Himalayan pink salt and then some black pepper, and that's pretty much going to be it for my seasonings. So I say just chop them up nice and small into strips, and not just that as well, it makes it look like you've got more volume. Plus I just like doing it this way because then I can mix it in. Easier to chew, easier to digest, haven't got big lumps of the chicken. I can get that in. So there you go. That's my pre-workout meal. Put that in the microwave. Let that warm up. So for my pre-workout today, I'm just going to go for a standard coffee, which I'm using my little Nescafe coffee machine here. So just a traditional Americano. I'm not going to be using any Stimumax or anything like that. I've been using them probably for the last 2 weeks. So I want to kind of come off them again. Don't really need them. Next week we're going to be moving more into, you know, the pump workouts where we're just trying to push the carbs into the muscles. So intensity will start dropping from next week, and we're going to be introducing a lot more carbohydrates. So I'm going to be more full, I'm going to have more energy from the carbohydrates. So I don't really want to be relying, and I don't really need to be relying on stimulants. So just a standard coffee, about 150 milligrams of caffeine will do me for today, but I will be adding in 1 scoop of the Max V3 with the coffee. If you never tried it, give it a try. I've done this before, it tastes absolutely unreal. So 1 scoop in with my coffee. This is just going to help with some focus and added pumps. Like, these are stimulant free. You can get these from Strong Sports. I really highly recommend this product at the moment. It's one of the highest rated supplements out there, I'll say, on the market at the moment. You can go to the link in the description below, and also you can use discount code PREP for free shipping on your order. So go check that out. But that is pretty much it. I'm going to get this in, and also once that's all done, I'm going to sort out my pre-workout drink, which I'll show you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so I sorted out my pre-workout. Just going to make up my pre-workout drink now. So it's pretty standard. I always use the same stuff every single pre-workout. So I've just got myself some L-glutamine. This is the raspberry lemonade flavour. I said this on like my previous videos. Definitely highly recommend this flavour. I had a load of feedback on my Instagram the other day on one of my posts, and a load of people have been using it and buying it and trying themselves. They said they've really enjoyed the flavour, and you know, it is quality flavour. I wouldn't lie to you guys. If I don't think it's a good flavour, I wouldn't recommend it. But what I do is a total of 4 scoops, which gives me 20 grams of L-glutamine. And I've just got here some essential amino acids. This is a 4:1:1 ratio, so it's got higher ratio of leucine, which is obviously our main essential amino acids that our body needs. And then some HMB as well. The HMB, shall I say, just helps drive the leucine into the muscles more and keeps the protein synthesis more active. So I'll do 1 scoop of that. And I've always chuck in 500 ml exact of water. Now we're trying to keep our water consistent at this stage, so I'm trying to weigh out my water as well. So 500 ml of that, and then to top it off, to make it nice and refreshing, I just add in 6 ice cubes. So with the raspberry lemonade, it's almost like a slush puppy, and the ice, you've got to give it a try. This is like my favourite part of the day. It's like the only sweet thing that I get throughout the day, and it's just like heaven. So I always enjoy this part. But that's pretty much it. You guys saw my pre-workout meal, the chicken and rice. This is my pre-workout drink. I'm going to sip on this, get the food in, then I'm going to head off to the gym, get a workout done. I'll catch you guys back at home for my post-workout meal. So, catch you guys then. Alright guys, so just got back from my leg workout, and that's officially it for all leg workouts of this prep. Now the only problem is, today was meant to be more of an isolated and just like a volume workout, but with me, I always try and push myself, and I always want to like just put on the weight and just go as heavy as I can, but I kind of try to make sure I restricted myself, kept the weights down a little bit and just went for volume. But for you guys that are wondering what the workout looked like, I printed it and put it on the screen somewhere for you guys. I don't know, I'll put it somewhere anyway that you can see my workout and just follow it if you want to give it a try. But that's pretty much it for all my leg workouts for this prep. You know, I'm kind of excited and happy about that. It's pretty much just about recovery now and letting the information come down on my legs and let the detail and conditions start coming in. But we're back at home, about to get my post-workout meal in. So today I've got myself some spaghetti bolognese and some pasta, and that's going to be my post-workout meal. I'm only kidding. My family just got back from their holiday. This is like my mum and all that, their dinner for tonight. It's not my dinner, but could you imagine that? But my actual post-workout meal, I've just got here 6.5 ounces of egg whites, which is all done. And with this, I've got 70 grams of dried ground rice. And I've also got 1 scoop of salted caramel protein. Now this is like one of my favourite things to do, and it's another little tip for you guys. So if you're in the middle of prep and you want something that's a little bit sweet tasting, like a dessert, also like a mousse texture, get yourself a little bowl, put yourself whatever it is that you need, 1 scoop, 2 scoop of ISO whey protein, and you're only going to put a little dash in. Now I call this the ISO slush. Literally you only want a little bit, and you're going to mix it up, and you're going to keep putting in a little bit at a time, so it's a little dry. You have to make sure you put a little bit in, otherwise it goes too runny, you've messed it up. It might take a few times, but as you can see there, getting a nice thick mousse texture dessert. I'm just going to put a little tad more in there. And that's it. It looks tiny, don't look like a great deal, but it tastes unreal. So sometimes what I like to do is I'll either have that just as itself, like after I've had my ground rice and egg whites, or I may stick a little bit on top of the ground rice, like a little topping. It's a nice little dessert to have. One of my favourites as well, salted caramel flavour. So that's pretty much it. And I'm just going to add on a little bit of sea salt and ground pepper on my eggs. So just a little bit of each. And that's it. That's pretty much it for my post-workout meal. That's the remaining of my carbohydrates. 150 grams in total for today. I'm going to get that in, pretty much sort myself out, and then next time you'll see me, we'll be en route to this reunion, and hopefully we'll get some footage of there. But when we get there, we'll find out what we can do. But I'll make sure I try and get some footage of the whole event. You guys get to see me hanging around with Dorian Yates, my posing coach Kimberly, and you know, a few other athletes and that down there. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, we're just on our way to this party reunion now. I've brought my meals with me, so I've got meal 5 and meal 6 with me. This I'll probably get in just on before we go in there. Meal number 5, I've just got myself 150 grams of tuna with 1 cup of veg, and then my last meal of tonight, I've got 200 grams of chicken, and again another cup of veg. Well, I've actually got asparagus, which still equals up to 1 cup, and that's pretty much it. I did get a message from my coach, the posing coach. She did say that there is going to be professional photographers and filmers at the event, so they're probably not going to be letting me film anything. But what I'll probably try and do is I'll try and get some sneak footage for you guys, but I'll probably have to use my iPhone and just like get some secret recording for you guys. But I'll try and get as much footage as I can of meeting Dorian Yates, my posing coach, and anyone else that's in there. But that's pretty much it. We're just on our way there now, and then let's catch you guys afterwards.
Keep chasing shadows, they always